I bought my first cow suit over 25 years ago. It was $14.99, and I was a sophomore in college. That first cow suit was pretty much strictly used for Halloween, when I was in college and after I got a job. But now, I have 11 cow suits, including the one in my truck, my emergency cow suit, because I never know when I might need to cow. To cow, that is the act of wearing a cow suit for no other reason than to put on a cow suit and experience whatever unfolds. It's pretty much like regular living, but it's in a cow suit, and the cow suit changes everything. After a few years, I took the cow suits mainstream. A couple examples. When my mom was nearing the end of her life, due to heart and lung disease, I formed a fundraising team for an American Lung Association bike ride. We called ourselves CAF, Cows Against Lung Failure. My friend MJ, who was 9 at the time, suited up to help me raise money. A few years after this, MJ needed a service project, and she loved cowing. So we corralled a team for the American Cancer Society's Relay for Life, Cows for a Cure. The teenagers loved the music, dancing, and staying up all night being silly in cow suits. My boss and his 2 sons showed up to support our team one year. His cow suit cred helped me to persuade our colleagues on the physical design team at our company to dress up for Halloween. And while my coworkers are clearly some team players here, putting the herd above self for a chance at a pizza party, they also happen to be some very serious designers who are seriously smart. And the relay was a catalyst for another cow suit enterprise. You see, at the event, often fatigued cancer survivors would walk the first lap alone, and the teams, including the cows, would jump and cheer. I would see smiles sweep over faces and postures straightened and paces quickened. People weren't reacting to us, they were reacting to the cow suits. So recalling this, a few of us surprised a friend running in his first marathon, and the same thing. We, in cow suits, seemed to ease a little suffering, even if just for a moment. Cowing at races is one of my favorite hobbies today. But that day, as I made eye contact with runner after runner, is when I first thought I could write a book about my experiences in a cow suit. But books are big, so I started a blog. And wanting more and more content, I increased the cowing. So what started out in Idaho has extended to 12 states so far, including Oregon, Montana, Nevada, and while working back east on a project for weeks at a time, I cowed on the weekends. I rode the subway and walked the Freedom Trail to the Cheers Bar in Boston. I visited historical mansions in Rhode Island. I cowed with the manager of my favorite laundromat in Massachusetts. I visited Lake Champlain, and I toured the Ben & Jerry's factory with Lydia, a neighbor kid who was going to college in Vermont. And in Connecticut, I cowed with Sally. I first met Sally on a Yahoo message board 14 years ago after we both suffered serious reactions to a fluoroquinolone antibiotic. And perhaps the most serious person to cow with me is my college friend Carrie, who's now a no-nonsense police captain in New Hampshire. I insisted we go to a Dunkin' Donuts, but we had to find one 2 towns away so she wouldn't be recognized. As word got out about my cowing, the local school district asked if I, in a cow suit, would help with their new cake award for character, attitude, kindness, and encouragement. So for once a month, the Cow Crusader for Kindness delivered cupcakes to deserving students in their classes. A 5th grader named Cosette was one of the first of many kids I got to recognize. She had included a classmate at lunch, and after, her peers followed her lead. So why do I do this? I mean, clearly it's on purpose. So, with some reminiscing, reflecting, and just a touch of overthinking, I've uncovered 6 things that keep me cowing. And first of all, the smiles. I mean, when I am in a cow suit, smiles fly at me like asteroids from the old Atari video game. And smiles equate to happiness. This is raw joy. I visited my friend Esther in the hospital in a cow suit. I took my favorite high school English teacher, Mrs. Fleischman, to lunch. My friend and high school classmate Josh is a hospital executive, a serious guy with a serious job. And one weekend, when he was in charge of the kids, they joined my classmates, Rainbow and Daria and I, and we cowed at a small fun run. Josh told me he was in it for the smiles that weekend, too. The connections. I mean, the cow suit not only disarms people I encounter, it disarms me, too. With this irreverence and levity, conditions are prime for connection. And I like sharing moments with people. Some ladies at church and I dressed up as the holy cows. I invented a math superhero, the calculator. At math competitions, awkward, stuttering preteens, like I once was, will approach me to tell me a story because I'm in a cow suit. My mayor posed with the calculator. And this guy has become a friend in part due to cowing, because I would see him at all the city fun runs, and I always said, "You should come cow sometime." And one frigid weekend in November, the weekend right before his second election, the mayor of Pocatello, Idaho, stopped and put on a cow suit with me. The control. A friend once said to me, a uniform will create expectations of behavior of both those who wear them and those with whom they interact. You think about police officers or pharmacists. Well, without instructions or a context for this, I've got the power to control how it's going to go with people in the first few seconds. So I've worn my cow suit to some knowingly stressful situations to gain or feel like I gained some control. I went to the dentist. I bought a new truck. I got a mammogram. I wasn't in the cow suit. And with the help of her 3 kids, I proposed to my wife in a cow suit. She told me early on that she would never get married in one of these, nor would she marry me if I were wearing one. So I had no other choice for this occasion. And instead of a ring, I gave her a custom handmade purple cow suit. The distraction, the zen, if you will. When I'm cowing, I'm not thinking about work projects or the cat hair under the stove. My cow suit forces so many interactions and reactions that command my full attention. It gives my mind a reprieve from everything else. That back east project where I cowed all over New England was the most serious of my career. And about midway through, we had 2 days of customer meetings at the home office. And their project manager brought her daughter on the trip to see Idaho. So young Renee and I suited up to cow at a sporting goods store. We wandered around, posing with various displays. This cowing venture with my customer's kid on a Thursday after work captures how the seriousness of my everyday can be intertwined with the comedy and distraction of the cow suit. At sunup on our wedding day, before things got hectic, we cowed by ourselves at a marathon. The freedom. So when I really ruminated about the allure of cowing, this one snuck up in my subconscious. You see, when I was a kid, my mom always used to say, "You walk like a lumberjack. Walk like a lady. She bought me pink blouses every single Christmas, and friends would try to get me to wear dresses or makeup or grow my hair out, but none of this fit me. I have spent a lifetime worrying, wondering, and finally accepting that my mannerisms and my appearance will probably lead people to pick up on my orientation and potentially judge or harass me because of it. And the cow suit does elicit a whole range of opinions and occasional harassment, but it's different. It is freeing to face the prospect of judgment or insults for wearing a cow suit rather than for who I am. I surprised my friend Brenda on her birthday with my trombone. And my trombone and I are free to sound terrible as long as I'm in a cow suit. And the kids, too, just love the extra freedom to be silly when they cow with me. And finally, the growth. I mean, people moo at me. Okay, it wasn't a request. But case in point. And at first, those moos used to startle and sting, but I'm not afraid of them because there's a fearlessness that has grown here. The times I've been scared and cowed anyway, my courage muscles grew stronger. And this first struck me in Boston. I was alone in a huge city for hours in a cow suit, experiencing one crazy encounter after another. I took as many risks as footsteps that day. And as I was trotting back to my hotel, basking in the afterglow of my courage, I felt guilty. Because people need courage for real, difficult, and serious things, and I'm messing around with this. I'm manufacturing scenarios that need courage in a cow suit. But as a culture, we read books and articles. We listen to podcasts. We attend workshops for some insight into this kind of happiness and growth. My cow suit compels me to be comfortable with the uncomfortable. At the beginning, when I said it's just like regular living, but in a cow suit, I mean, it is. But it's become a way for me to do some living infused with happiness, some incidental courage, and utter intention. In closing, I want to share a story about the impact the cow suits have had on someone else from the early days of cowing. When we had our Cows for a Cure Relay for Life team, one of our members, 14-year-old Riley Thomason, was diagnosed with a type of leukemia. And we then became Riley's herd. Riley gave it all she had. And after she died, her mom read through the journals that Riley kept while receiving treatment at Primary Children's Hospital. Riley journaled about her joyful time with the cows at the Relay for Life. I donate blood in Riley's memory, and I will wear a cow suit so the Red Cross workers ask me why. And then I tell them about Riley and her herd, and how in the months before she died, Riley Thomason loved dancing with the cows at midnight. When I have craved humor, an escape, or change, when I've needed an armor, a disguise, a weapon, when I've wanted a crutch, a tonic, a friend, my cow suit has brought it all. As I've put one hoof in front of the other, cheering, walking, thinking, or flying through my utterly serious life.